Shalom Vracha, everybody. This week we are reading Parashat Shemot. Parashat Shemot begins the second book of the 5 books that Moses wrote. This is in English the book of Exodus, and the book of Exodus begins with the story of how the Hebrews became enslaved in Egypt, the trickery of Pharaoh. But the beginning words is describing how Jacob and his sons come down to Egypt, obviously preceding that. And it says both names, it says Jacob and Israel. Why Jacob and Israel? Because Yaakov is in Jacob in Hebrew, and Israel is Israel, obviously. Yaakov is connected to the heel. This is the part of Jacob that was born into this world, hanging onto his twin brother's heel, trying to get out first. The struggle with the world, until we can get to the higher level, Yisrael, that you are my minister. God says, you are so important to me because you have fought with these angels, you have fought with the higher powers. So that it's saying that Jacob and Israel come to Egypt, it's talking about us. Because what does Mitzrayim, Egypt, represent in our life? It represents the constrictions that we always have. There's always constrictions. There's always things that will be limiting. That part of our job is to work on those things and figure those things out. And we need a higher level of assistance and aid, in a sense. And that's this idea that we're reading in the Torah, because otherwise, what's the point? Why every year we're reading the same thing and the same thing? We know it already. So it's true, we learn something new, but it's because these are foundational things in our lives that we're dealing with, and we need something that's above us and way more powerful than us to connect to, that can help us figure these things out and get to a higher level within that. And we're seeing now what's happening in Israel. Obviously, we're dealing with the struggle. We're dealing with darkness. We're dealing with the constriction. We need to have an illuminated sense of mind and being and how to deal with this. Because there's a lot of things that need to get taken care of. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done beyond the physical battle that's going on in Gaza. A lot of it has to do with spiritual. A lot of it has to do with our energetic level as a nation. And I think I've heard this. I think I mentioned here before that part of what the enemy wants to do is get us depressed. They want us to be sad. They want us to be affected. Because when someone is depressed, their energy is on a lower level, and they're bringing less to the world. They're bringing less to their surroundings. They're not able to show up as much because they're on a lower resonance. So when someone is higher energy, they're resonating on a higher level. More energy is coming out of them, and they're bringing more good and benefit to the world. And that's what Torah mitzvahs are really all about, is raising our energy, connecting us to Hashem through prayer, through learning, through doing mitzvot, through doing good for others, through doing spiritual mitzvot that are just between us and God, but that are also bringing benefit to the world and to our lives. So every Shabbat we're blessed with this. This Shabbat is also, as we get once a month, Shabbat Mevarchim. We bless the new month, and it's Shevat. Shevat in Hebrew is also Shevet, like the rod. This is God's good rod, and it's also stands for Shir Besorot Tovot, Shvat Shin Bet Tet, that there should be good news. We should have good tidings. Be'ezrat Hashem, we're going into better energy and blessings. God bless you all. Shabbat Shalom Umevorach.